Now, if you were a starfish, you would be a creature, a being with a mouth at your belly. And you might even want to just touch your belly button for a moment to remember that at one time in your life, you were a creature who had a mouth at your belly. And the place that you call your belly button is the first place where you were ever fed. So letting your hand rest over your belly button, over this primordial mouth, and then letting your hand stretch out. And let's imagine for a moment that we are starfish and that our heads and our arms and our legs, and maybe even the tips of our spines could all be limbs. And from our belly buttons, from the center of our bodies, we're just receiving information. We're going to combine this with the movement of our breath. And start to find pathways of relationships, pathways of connection between each of our limbs, back to our navel centers, back to our belly buttons. So as you inhale, feel the movement of your breath expand and spread out. And reach into your fingers and toes. And can you feel that your fingers and your toes can reach all the way from your belly button? You could reach from your belly button. And when you exhale, can you invite the exhale breath to be a collecting or a gathering breath? Almost like a mouth eating, right? So as you inhale, the belly button mouth spreads and stretches and opens, and the whole body can respond. And as you exhale, feeling the natural flow of the exhale breath back inwards, even as the breath releases, that the tissue contracts, condenses, and comes back in. So we'll explore this movement for a few minutes. And I want to invite us to do a really gentle floor dance. And the floor dance phrase is a kind of creative, interpretive phrase. You're going to make it what you will. But it's an exploration of the connection of your belly button out into the periphery, out into the edges, into your limbs, hands, legs, arms, feet, top of your head, tip of your spine, maybe out into the container of your skin. And you can move in any way you want. You can move symmetrically, asymmetrically. You can expand your limbs all at once, or you can reach from your navel into one limb at a time, or explore patterns between them. You might have an instinct to make your movements big right away. It might feel really good to stay really small. Maybe even imperceptible in your movement. Feeling the expanding and condensing. How many ways can you just let your body feel new pathways, or maybe they're not new, they're pathways that have been there forever, but New greetings. Letting your breath be a big support. And let's bring into this movement quality some reaching out and collecting, and then pulling back in our intentions. And this can be big movements or small movements. You might inhale and let your palms extend, opening your hands and you reach. Exhale and feeling your palm close, holding, drawing back into the center. And in our movements, if you haven't already started to explore little asymmetrical movement, then explore that now. Notice what it is to inhale and reach out through, let's say, your right side, and then exhale and collect in through your right side. What happens when one side expands? How does the other side want to follow? Reaching out and extending through your left side. Collecting back in. How does your left side body want to reach and get bigger? Can it swell? Can it spread? And then exploring some condensing, some squeezing out. It's working our Cancerian tissues right now, our watery tissues, letting them spread and swell, and then squeeze, contract. What happens if your upper body expands and then your lower body condenses? So you might already be rolling around on your floor. I feel like I'm ready to do that, and I'm limiting myself because my cat is right next to me, but maybe she'll want to roll too. So if you're ready to take this movement into some other dimensions, let's explore how we might roll through a swell and a condense. And I'm going to reach out through one side, really letting that side get big. And then as I exhale, I'm going to pull in my other side. And it's going to roll me onto my side. Hello, Abby. And then from here, I'm going to roll back and open up, expanding out. And then as I exhale, I'm going to let the other side condense in. So I have my versions of expanding and condensing. There is not a right way to do this movement. How do our movements bring us to the side? Part of what we are working with Cancerian energy is the first kind of patterns in our body of contact. So as you breathe and as you open, you might also start to get a little curious about how your inhalation and expansion could push you into the floor, or maybe it's your exhalation and condensing. Abby's being very Cancerian right now, just wants to cuddle. She does not want to roll on the floor. Come on, Abby. Right. So I'm going to teach a practice that some of you might have done before. It's called an X-roll. And from that warm up that we did, I think we'll be kind of primed for it. And we'll start with this movement and then we'll just bring it back into fluidity. So if you've already done X-rolls before, be well on your way. And if you want to give it a go, then we'll start off from our starfish shape. And part of how we're going to do the movement today is really trying to keep a lot of awareness in the belly button area, in this central axis of our starfish, or you might think of it as the center of your X shape. So spread out through your X, get real big, reaching from your belly button out into your hands and your feet, through the length of your limbs. And then make your left leg longer. Reach from your from your belly button into your left toes. And then use your left toes to internally rotate. So roll your leg towards the center of your body and reach your left leg up and over your right leg. So it's a little bit of a stretch for your outer hip. Reaching it over. And then let the pull of your left leg start to roll you onto your side and onto your belly. And we're doing really lazy X rolls here. So I'm actually just rolling over my right arm. And then to come back, I'm going to come back through my left leg again. Kind of letting my inhale spread out my toes, starting to reaching it back. And letting that reach of my left leg roll me onto my back. So working through the other side, working with the lower limbs. Getting the connection first of your belly button to your right foot. And then as you move your right foot across, letting it pull you through your navel, rolling you onto your belly. And then when you're ready, letting your right foot reach you back across, rolling you onto your back. And then we'll bring in our arms. So you can try with your left hand first, taking a breath in and reaching through your belly button into your left fingertips. And then let your left hand come up and over your body, reaching over your right side. And let the reach of your arm kind of pull you towards your belly. Really lazy X rolls. These X rolls don't have to end up in an X on your belly. They're going to probably end up in a flop. And to come back from your hand, pull your hands towards your face. And then use the contact of the ground underneath you to push as you follow your hand back. So we can take these X rolls into a kind of lazy rolling exploration, just moving our bodies around on the floor. And what I want us to do actually is combine everything that we've been doing in any way that feels intuitive for you. So the X rolls are a movement, And they can lead into a lot of other things. They can lead into a kind of rolling onto your side, a reaching back onto your belly, letting your inhale, exhale, expanding, condensing. Now take a form that is really fluid, like a sea creature. Like a being that is made of water. Just kind of rolling around on the floor. And as you roll, as you move yourself around, getting very curious, just maintain the connection or the question of what is the relationship of your limbs to your belly. Can your belly help you roll? This opening of your belly mouth, reaching of the belly mouth, the connection of your navel to all of your limbs. Your breath and belly being a location that you can expand into the rest of your body through connection, but also that you can come back to. It's a feeling of continuity between the center and the periphery. And then with this kind of lazy rolling around, okay, no form particularly, just letting yourself be very fluid, very weighted, working with your belly connection and your breath. Let's try and roll where we are so that all parts of our body end up getting contact with the ground. All parts of your body could smush against the floor. And as you roll, you are supported by your breath, the expanding, condensing of your belly, the reaching of your limbs. You've got a lot of different movement pathways that you can follow. And now we just want to bring contact all over our bodies. And we can move our bodies however they need to move to get this contact. And the invitation is to move with your fluid body, rolling into contact, feeling the relationship, feeling the touch. Just like we did at the beginning with the weight on our bellies. All points of contact and touch can be a place where we could breathe into. And sometimes a breathing into that contact actually builds a kind of relationship of some stability. There's something that happens when we really meet touch, when we really meet relationship. That's like, oh, I could push against this. Part of how we build stable attachment is through conflict, actually, through differentiation, feeling that we can push against and meet up with the edges of, and that we can also come into our own space, right? Push away. And then come back together. Okay. So now as we move in this kind of just very exploratory, very generous, very gentle way, please care for your body exquisitely as you get contact everywhere or everywhere you can. And as you meet the contact and as you breathe into it and feel the relationship of it, my invitation for you is to give yourself the emotional invitation that you need right now. And so you know what it is for you, like you know where you're not getting the contact that you need. You know where you've lost contact or where you don't have some kind of something that used to be there. You know where you're building new bonds. So in however you're moving right now, there's an opportunity to bring in a real devotional practice, right? And an emotional practice, a spiritual practice. What are you working with? What are you holding? What feels hard to hold? And give that to your movement. Let the images and the names and the memories and whatever it is that's in your mind or on your heart, just be there as you roll and as you meet contact and as you breathe. And feel how through this you are expanding and condensing. You are filling and emptying. And every cell in your body is breathing. Every part of your body can be part of this dance. And in my own dance, I'm feeling like I want to sometimes come up into a vertical and then come back down into the horizontal. That's feeling good to me right now. And so that might feel good to you too. Just noticing, oh, I could roll, and my rolling can take me up and down. Maybe the reaching of a leg brings you into a seat. Maybe to touch the top of your head and make sure that you get contact in your head. Yeah, you have to do something else with your hips. So being playful, exploratory, and generous in our bodies as we invite in whatever needs to be felt right now. Is there something or someone that needs rocking as you move? Someone or something that needs holding or a sound? We'll take like 2 more minutes, 2 or 3 more minutes. Are there parts of your body that still need contact? And then as you're ready, letting your rolling exploration maybe get a little quieter. And the next part of our practice, we'll do a meditation and a visualization. And I think some folks might want to continue to move and continue to roll. And so if that feels good to you, then please do. And anything in the language that I choose that inspires any movement, follow that. I'm going to stay lying down on my back for this meditation for at least for the first part. So the meditation that we'll work with is a visualization, and the imagination can take any form. So however it appears to you is totally right. Notice what you notice, though, as we go through. There will be a couple points where I'll ask you to notice something, and so you might want to notice some details. So coming back into the awareness of your belly button, this first mouth, this is a place of really central intelligence in your body. And if you bring your touch there, that might be helpful. You can feel your breath there. And first, let's just greet this part of our bodies. And I want to honor that there's a lot of feeling that lives in the navel center. And so as you connect with your own navel center, you are connecting with your birth. You're connecting with the body that birthed you and the relationships that surround that relationship. You're connecting with a cellular memory that is beyond your body. Okay. You might be connecting with beings who've passed through your body, who you fed through your body. Okay. So lots of connections here in the immediate familial. And also so much that we register here emotionally and energetically in our bonds and our attachments. Sense into your navel, sense into this part of your body, okay, and notice how it looks to you. Okay, what occurs first when I ask you to visualize your inner body? Okay, noticing if there's any kind of message there, if there's anything that you want to ask a deeper question into, I'm just letting that be there. Now we'll invite our imaginations to travel from our belly buttons to the center of the earth. And wherever you happen to be right now, let your imagination travel earthwards through whatever layers it needs to travel through. You might need to imagine moving down through multiple stories of a building, through floors, through foundations of buildings, the top soil layer of the earth, the deeper clay layers, the root systems, the water channels, the mineral and rock. There's a wide layer of earth that is moving fire, kind of liquid magma. And all the way at the center of the earth is a core of metal. So at the belly button of the earth is its own center of gravity. And that core is in an ongoing very deep relationship with the sun and with the moon. Yeah, our earth is a body in relationship. And can you imagine that there is a connection, that there is a pathway or a channel between your belly button and the center of the earth? How does it appear to you as you imagine it? It can look any way. What do you see? Let's breathe with that connection for a couple of moments. And as you inhale and as you exhale, noticing what happens in that connection. The inhale and the exhale both have expanding and condensing inside of them. When we inhale, our bodies swell out, but we draw in, pulling in breath. As we exhale, our bodies condense in and our breath moves out. And so as you breathe, this channel between your belly button and the earth is breathing too. And there's some kind of movement here. There's some kind of giving and receiving, some kind of flow. Your body is connected to the earth, and the earth's body is connected to you. And the earth has got you. The earth's solid metal core has a force of gravity that is a very firm, a very sure embrace. And there's no doubt that the earth can hold you. Can you breathe that holding in? And that sense of contact, that sense of weight into your belly button, into your core. And just an invitation that if you have anything to give, and there's a lot that you might want to give back or give through this channel or connection with the earth. But one thing that you might want to explore giving is trust. What would it feel like to give trust through the center of your body into this connection with earth?